The stars outside the window of the human ship moved slowly. Captain Laura Bennett stood on the bridge of the ship named Hope's Reach. The ship was large, clean, and built for peace, not war. Laura looked calm, but her eyes were sharp. She had done many rescue missions, but this one felt different. The crew had received a distress signal from a mining colony in the Terrian Expanse. The colony was neutral. It did not belong to any major power. The message was short and full of static. It only said that people were in danger and needed help fast. Laura had called a meeting with her senior crew members. Kyle Brooks, the chief engineer, spoke first. He was tall and had grease on his hands from working in the engine room. "Warp systems are stable," Kyle said, "but we should stay alert. That area is known for strange ship activity." Dylan Cruz, the ship's weapons officer, sat quietly until he was asked. "We don't go in armed for battle," Dylan said. "But I've checked all systems. Rail cannons and shields are ready if needed." Angela Moore, the ship's medic, spoke last. "I've loaded supplies. I'm bringing 2 medical pods. If they have wounded people, we'll need to work fast." Laura nodded. "We're not going in to fight," she said. "We're going to help. But if anyone tries to stop us, we'll defend ourselves. Let's move." Hope's Reach left its jump point and entered the Terrian Expanse. Space looked calm, but the sensors picked up strange signals. One of them showed a large object above the colony. Kyle checked the scans. "That's not a station," he said. "It's a warship." Laura leaned closer. Zranathi. The Zranathi were a strange, alien race. They had sharp features and cold voices. No one ever knew what they were thinking. The Zranathi were not at war with humans, but they were known for taking what they wanted. "Send a message," Laura ordered. "Use standard rescue protocol. Make it clear we're here to help." Dylan tapped the console. A soft hum filled the bridge as the signal was sent. There was no reply. Minutes passed. The ship moved closer to the colony. The Zranathi ship did not answer, but it also didn't move. The crew hoped that meant it would not interfere. Angela prepared to go down with the landing crew. She packed her bag with medical gear and walked to the shuttle bay. Kyle stayed in engineering, watching every system carefully. Suddenly, the ship shook. A loud noise rang through the halls. Lights flickered. On the bridge, Dylan shouted, "Plasma bolt. Direct hit across the bow." Laura held onto the rail and looked at the screen. The Zranathi ship had fired. "Damage?" she asked. "Shields took most of it," Kyle answered from engineering. "But we lost power on 2 sensors." Laura took a deep breath. "Send another message. Let them know we are a rescue ship." Again, no answer. Then came the second hit. This one struck harder. The ship tilted, alarms blaring. "Rear thrusters are damaged," Kyle called. "I can keep us steady, but we can't maneuver well." Laura's face changed. Her eyes became cold. She gave the command slowly, prepared to return fire. Dylan nodded. The rail cannons locked on target. The Zranathi ship was large, but not ready for a fight. A pulse of blue light shot from Hope's Reach. The human cannon hit the enemy's engine. Sparks and gas poured into space. The Zranathi ship began to drift. Laura looked at the screen and gave one last order. "Hold fire. We made our point. Now let's help those people." Angela's shuttle launched. 2 Marines went with her. They landed near the colony and saw the damage. Buildings were broken. Smoke rose into the sky. People ran to the shuttle. They looked tired and afraid. Angela stepped out and helped the first wounded man. "You're safe now," she said. "We'll get you out of here." Back on the ship, Kyle worked fast to fix the thrusters. He spoke to himself while connecting wires. "We didn't come to fight, but we can't let them shoot at us." Dylan kept scanning. He watched the Xanathi ship float in silence. It was damaged, but still active. He wondered if they would try again. Laura stood at the front of the bridge. She said nothing, but she was thinking. She thought about the rescue, about the attack, and about what this meant for the future. Hope's Reach had only wanted to help, but now the galaxy would see something new. A human rescue ship had fought back, and won. Asterisk, the Xanathi ship floated in space, quiet but dangerous. The damage from the human rail cannon was clear. Its engine leaked gas, and one of its side panels was torn open. But it still had power, and no one knew what it would do next. Captain Laura Bennett stood on the bridge of Hope's Reach. Her crew worked fast. Kyle Brooks was in engineering, fixing the rear thrusters. Dylan Crew stayed at the weapons station, watching the enemy ship. Laura's eyes never left the main screen. "Any movement from the Xanathi?" she asked. Dylan shook his head. Still drifting. No signs of charging weapons. "But there comes a silent." Laura frowned. "They might be calling for backup. We need to finish the rescue quickly." On the planet below, Angela Moore moved between injured colonists. Her hands were steady, her voice calm. She cleaned wounds, wrapped broken arms, and gave medicine. The two Marines with her helped carry people to the shuttle. One man, older and weak, grabbed Angela's sleeve. "They told us no one would come," he said. "But you came." Angela smiled softly. "We always come. You're not alone." The shuttle filled with the first group of survivors. Angela looked at the sky. Smoke rose from the colony, and the sun was dim behind the clouds. Back on the ship, Kyle finished repairs on the thrusters. "Power is steady," he said over the com. "We can move again." Laura gave a short reply. "Good work. Be ready for anything." The second rescue shuttle launched. Dylan kept watching the Xanathi ship. He didn't trust their silence. Suddenly, one of the screens blinked. A second Xanathi ship appeared on long-range sensors. It was larger and coming fast. "New contact," Dylan said. "It's heading toward us." 10 minutes out. Laura took a deep breath. "Send a warning to Angela. Tell her to speed up." Angela heard the message and nodded. She waved at the colonists. "We need to hurry. Another ship is coming. Everyone stay together." The second group boarded fast. A child fell while running, and Angela picked him up. The shuttle lifted just as a deep hum came from the sky. The sound of a ship entering the atmosphere. The new Xanathi ship did not fire right away. It stopped near the colony and hovered. A message came through to Hope's Reach. "This is Xanathi Command. Your ship has attacked one of ours. Explain." Laura stood straight. Her voice was firm. "Your ship fired on a rescue vessel. We defended ourselves and continued our mission." The reply came back cold. "You are not welcome in this system. Leave at once." Laura turned to Dylan. "Is the second shuttle back?" "Almost 2 minutes." Laura faced the screen again. "We will leave when all civilians are safe, not before." The Xanathi ship began charging weapons. Lights blinked along its hull. Dylan locked the rail cannons in place. "Do we fire first?" he asked. Laura shook her head. "Not yet, only if they shoot." The second shuttle docked. Angela ran from the bay to the bridge. Her face was tired, but she stood tall. "All colonists are safe," she said. "We got everyone." Laura gave the order. "Plot a course out of the system. Fast." Kyle activated the warp drive. The ship turned, moving away from the colony. But the Xanathi ship followed. Then came the third. Plasma shot. It missed, but it was a clear message. Laura didn't wait. Return fire, hit their targeting array. Dylan fired. The human cannon struck true. Sparks flew from the Xanathi ship. Its weapons shut down. "Target is blind," Dylan said. "They can't lock on us now." Hope's Reach jumped to light speed. The stars stretched and vanished. The crew let out quiet breaths. They were safe for now. In the medbay, Angela treated the last of the wounded. She looked at the faces of the rescued people. Old, young, tired, afraid. But they were alive, in engineering. Kyle sat down beside the reactor and wiped sweat from his face. "We made it," he said. On the bridge, Laura stared at the stars. "This changes everything," she said. Dylan looked over. "You think they'll let it go?" "No," Laura said. "But now they know. We don't start fights, but we don't run either." The crew of Hope's Reach stayed quiet. Outside, space was calm again, but they all knew the calm would not last. The message had been sent across the stars. Do not fire on a human rescue ship. It will be the last mistake you make. The stars outside Hope's Reach were quiet, but inside the ship, things were busy. Captain Laura Bennett stood in the command room, thinking about what had just happened. The Xanathi had attacked a rescue ship. That alone was a serious mistake. But now, everyone in the galaxy would hear about how the humans fought back and escaped. The crew was working hard. Kyle Brooks was checking every system in engineering. The rear thrusters were still weak, and the power grid needed more repairs. Angela Moore stayed in the medbay. Some of the rescued colonists were still resting. Others sat together in silence, trying to understand what had happened. On the bridge, Dylan Cruz watched the scanner. He knew more ships could follow them. The jump had taken them to a nearby star system, but not far enough to feel safe. "Captain," Dylan said, "I see movement. Small ships, 2 of them. Not Xanathi, looks like scouts." Laura looked at the screen. "From where?" "Unmarked," Dylan answered. "Maybe just pirates. Or someone looking for salvage." Laura nodded. "Keep an eye on them. Do not engage unless they get close." She left the bridge and walked to the medbay. Angela looked up from her work. A woman from the colony was lying on the bed, her arm bandaged. "She'll be fine," Angela said. "Just needs rest." Laura looked around the room. "We did the right thing, but I think this is just the beginning." Angela nodded. The colony wasn't important to anyone. That's why they attacked. They thought no one would care. Now they know. "We care," Laura said. A soft alarm rang. Laura returned to the bridge. Dylan looked serious. "The 2 ships are closing in," he said. "Still no signals. But I think they're scanning us." Kyle's voice came over the speaker. "Shields are up. Weapons online. We're ready." Laura watched the screen. The ships circled them but stayed at a distance. After a few minutes, they turned and left. "What was that about?" Angela asked, stepping onto the bridge. "Testing us," Laura said. "They saw we were damaged and wanted to see if we were weak." Angela frowned. "People are watching. They want to know if we can be pushed." Laura sat in her chair. "Then we show them. We stand firm." Later, in the crew meeting room, Laura spoke to the senior staff. Kyle, Dylan, Angela, and 2 other crew members sat around the table. The rescue was a success, Laura said, but now we need to prepare for what comes next. The galaxy saw us fight back. Some will respect us, others will see it as a challenge. Kyle leaned forward. I want to make upgrades. The thrusters held, but barely. I can improve the shielding too. We need to be faster and harder to hit. Dylan nodded. And I'll adjust the weapons system. We don't want war, but we need to be ready. Angela looked at Laura. What about the colonists? We're taking them to a station near Earth space, Laura said. After that, they'll be safe. One of the other officers, Nate, raised his hand. Do we report the attack? Laura paused. We already sent the data. The Human Council will speak to the Xanathi, but I don't expect an apology. The meeting ended. The crew returned to their duties. Hope's Reach moved quietly through space, keeping away from major trade routes. Back in her quarters, Laura looked at the screen on her desk. It showed a message from a news channel. The headline said, Human Rescue Ship Attacked, Fights Back. There were pictures of the damaged Xanathi cruiser. The video of the plasma fire and the human return shot was spreading across networks. Everyone was talking about it. Laura turned off the screen and sat back. Her face was calm, but her thoughts were heavy. The next day, Hope's Reach reached the station. It was a small human outpost with docking arms and cargo bays. The colonists were moved to safety. Some cried. Others thanked the crew. A little girl gave Angela a small drawing of the ship. You saved us, the girl said. Angela smiled and hugged her. That's why we're here. Kyle stayed on the ship, already working on the new upgrades. Dylan joined a group of officers at the station to explain what had happened. Laura met with the station commander. You made the right call, the commander said, but you also made waves. The council is getting questions. Let them ask, Laura replied. We saved lives. That's what matters. Back on the ship, a message came through. It was from a Xanathi ambassador. Dylan read it aloud. Your actions were noted. We do not accept blame, but we will avoid contact until further notice. Laura listened in silence. Then she said, That's their way of saying we hurt them. They won't forget. Angela looked worried. What if they come back stronger? Laura stood up. Then we'll be ready. The crew of Hope's Reach had done more than rescue people. They had sent a message, and across the stars, others were listening. Some with fear, some with anger, some with respect, but all now knew the truth. Attacking a human rescue ship was not a small thing. It was a mistake, and it would not be forgotten. Hope's Reach continued its journey through space, quiet and steady. After the escape from the Xanathi, the crew needed time to rest and repair. Captain Laura Bennett walked through the halls of the ship. She nodded to crew members, gave quiet orders, and watched everything closely. She knew the galaxy was watching now. They had to be ready. In engineering, Kyle Brooks had systems open and wires exposed. He moved fast, hands covered in dust and oil. A younger crew member handed him a tool. We'll be ready if they come again, Kyle said. The new shield layer is almost done, and I'm adding a second backup core. That's good, Laura said. How soon can we test it? Within a day, maybe less. She gave a short nod and moved on. In the medbay, Angela Moore sat with a boy from the colony. His name was Milo. He had no family left. Angela had taken special care of him. Do you want to stay on the ship? she asked. Milo looked up. I don't want to go back. Not ever. Angela placed a hand on his shoulder. Then stay here. We'll keep you safe. On the bridge, Dylan Cruz watched the sensors. Every signal, every sound, every shadow on the screen made him tighten his grip. Still clear, he said when Laura returned. No ships nearby, but chatter is rising. Everyone's talking about us, good or bad. She asked, both. Some call us heroes. Others say we broke the rules. Laura sat down. We didn't start the fight. We saved lives. If the rules don't allow that, then they need to change. Later that day, a message came from Earth Command. The screen lit up with the face of Admiral Holt. He was an older man with deep lines on his face and sharp eyes. Captain Bennett, he said, you caused a wave across the stars. The Council is holding meetings every hour. The Xanathi say you broke their space laws. Their ship fired first, Laura replied. We followed rescue code. I believe you. But not everyone does. Some are afraid. They think this will lead to war. It might, she said. But if we back down, we teach the galaxy that human rescue ships can be attacked without cost. Holt nodded. Understood. Return to Earth space. Bring the colonists. We will speak further. When you arrive, the screen went dark. Laura sat in silence. Angela stepped in and stood beside her. You did the right thing, Angela said. I know, Laura replied, but it's not enough to be right. We also have to be ready. They started moving. Again, heading toward Earth space. The stars passed like cold lights around them. Time passed, and things felt quiet. But the crew never relaxed fully. Then, a signal came through, not from Earth, not from allies. It was from a group of independent systems near the outer rim. Dylan, read it aloud. To the crew of Hope's Reach. We watched what happened. We have long feared the Xanathi. You showed us they can be stopped. We would like to speak with you. Laura raised an eyebrow. Send a reply. We're listening. Over the next few hours, more messages came in. Small planets, independent stations, traders, even a few Xanathi citizens in secret. All had the same message. They had seen what happened, and it gave them hope. Angela said, people are not just afraid, they're inspired. Kyle smiled as he entered the bridge. Shields are ready. Backup systems online. We're stronger now. Laura looked around at her crew. Good, because I think this is only the beginning. At the next station, they delivered the rescued colonists. The station leader welcomed them and offered supplies. Milo stayed with the crew. Other colonists hugged Angela and thanked her. A woman gave Laura a note before leaving. The note said, because of you, I believe in humans again. Later, Dylan showed Laura new sensor data. Another Xanathi ship is tracking us. It's not close yet, but it's coming. Laura gave the order. Hold course. We won't run. Hope's Reach moved forward through space. Behind them, danger followed. But ahead, others watched with new eyes. The rescue mission had become something more. They were no longer just a crew. They were a signal, a sign that sometimes standing up and helping others meant more than staying silent. And those who saw it would not forget, not this time.